that we need to give them a chance, give them the best chance we possibly can. And I believe that getting 2 schools at a reasonable price compared to single schools elsewhere, I think this is a good opportunity to let our children know, our youth, that we care about their education. And I think that this would send us in the right direction. On another issue, I'm very disappointed about what transpired last week. I think it's unfortunate that sometimes we feel we don't need to let the other person speak and hear them out and let them finish what they have to say. Which my final point was simply to be that we have to listen to each other in their entirety, regardless of whether we agree with them or not. And that was my primary point before the 3 of you stood up, adjourned the meeting, and left. And I would never, ever do that to you, because I know that this role as a selectman requires and demands that we respect one another at all times, even though we may disagree. So I was very disappointed, and I don't expect an apology in my direction, but you might want to consider giving an apology to anybody who watched it on TV, because I have too much respect for what we are trying to do as a unit. On another note, we have an election coming up for this office. And Greg, I'd mentioned this to you some time ago, just in passing, was no, detailed conversation or anything like that. But one of the things, knowing that what I went through, and I think you must have gone through, and Mike, you've gone through, we've all gotten, Steve went through it in 1988 or something like that. But every time there's a new selectman, okay, the day before they are elected, they have many, many questions. And of course, first day that they are elected, they have to have all the answers. And that's not possible, and that's not fair. And it's also doesn't allow the board to be at full strength when there's such a change. So what I'm suggesting that be done, or be prepared, is that, and this is to reduce the learning curve, that a packet be prepared for, if there's a new selectman, a packet be prepared that would consist of all of the contracts that we've negotiated and all of the immediate prior MOUs or contracts, so that they can sit back and they can read these contracts and get a gist of where we've come from, what we've done, and when it comes up time 2 years from now or from then that they have to start negotiating contracts again, they'll have some grasp of what's going on. If any litigation that's going on, some report summarizing that for the selectmen. Definitely a copy of the strategic plan so that they can review that. And I think those are the 3 things. Those are the important things. So if you can develop a packet, I think that would be helpful to whomever, if there is a new selectman this time around, that they would be able to get on board and reduce the learning curve. So that's a suggestion that I have. Now, lastly and finally, there is no greater honor, as far as I'm concerned, is to have the trust of the ones who you receive the trust from those whom you represent. The Board of Selectmen's role, in my perspective, is fundamental. manage town government efficiently and effectively, ask for no more than what is needed, and in doing so, invest the citizens' money frugally. This should be the mantra of every servant of the people, and no matter what the position, whether they're an employee or they were elected. The selectmen should always handle their presence with knowledge that they are representing nearly 15,000, that we are the face of the community. So wherever we are, whether we're in another town or we're in front of this camera, we are the face of the community. Selectmen should treat everyone they represent and with whom they interact with dignity and respect without prejudice. Something is important to everyone. We should listen to every idea, embrace it as if it's our own, and then come to an agreement on how best to proceed. Representing one's community, though time-consuming and demanding, is extremely rewarding. I have been in this room for 4 years, 3 as a selectman, and 1 year I sat in the audience. It would be presumptuous of me in saying I have done a good job during my term. I certainly tried and hope I met your expectations. There have been disappointments, of which I won't belabor, and there have been accomplishments, of which I won't boast. Only because of personal demands, I will be unable to put in the appropriate time required to properly, help effectively, and efficiently manage the town. I believe in our town meeting form of government. It's not perfect, but it's pure. I believe in our system of committees. It's designed to give good people a chance to do good things. It works when people get involved. It gets sluggish when we don't. I thank the many who came forward unsolicited, encouraging me to remain, wishing for me to seek another term. I thank those who have supported me these past 3 years, and I thank you for your trust and your confidence. Thank you. That's what that means.
Thank you, Jeff. Just a couple things. I think we've spoken a lot about the school. I'll only say one thing. Please vote. Come to vote on next Monday, and plan on taking a few minutes out of your busy day on Saturday to vote in the override election. Just a few things. Evidently, the McDonald's is redone themselves, and they're having a reopening ceremony on Thursday, the 15th. And I see that you're scheduled to
I've
do the...
handed it off to Selectman Ewell, who will be standing in for me.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
I would like on Wednesday, when you and I get together, if it'd be possible to go over the budget from the point of view of the things that we highlighted that we want to look at and see how that works into the revenue plan. And then at least not this coming Monday, as we'll only have a very short board meeting, but the following meeting, perhaps have a discussion on how we can best implement those things that the board has flagged as important. With that, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, just in relation to Mr. Yield's statement. I'm a little disappointed, Jeff. I was hoping you'd run again. Again, I've served with a lot of people. Anybody who's, as you said, anybody who serves and steps up, and everybody's well-intended, and the sacrifices are great. And you've been one of the more thoughtful individuals I've ever served with, and appreciate your service. I appreciate your wife and your family sharing you with us. And we still got a couple more months to go and a little more work to give us here. And I look forward to serving with you for the remainder of your term. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
I was gonna save that for downstream when you get closer to
We'll save it
leaving
again.
us.
You could say it
but
again, I mean.
Ditto from what Steve has said then. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
We have a second, motion by Mr. Briscoe, second by Mr. Delaney. All in favor?
Aye.